Hi everyone, Carolyn Isaiah here, and I want to continue about the storm. Yesterday we spoke of the storm, and today we're going to continue the storm. So let's read Matthew 7:24, and it's called Built on the Rock, and it goes down to 29. So it says, "Therefore whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them will be like the foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it fell, and it was a great fall." That goes down to 27. So I want to talk about a storm. There's a tsunami, there's a hurricane, there's a hailstorm, a rainstorm, there's a windstorm. All these things bring devastation. If you had your property damaged, or your home damaged, or you had your car damaged, your vehicle, and you went to the insurance company, they would say that this is a natural disaster. But they would also say that this is an act of God. Sometimes they say we can't cover it, it's an act of God. Sometimes we need an act of God. Sometimes that storm has to come. Think about a tree. It has many branches, and maybe some of those branches have been dead, and they have been withered, and they've been old, and we were supposed to cut them away years ago. Because if you go generations back to addiction and depression and anxiety and fear and bitterness and brokenness that's just built up and built up and built up, that they should have been cut off. They should have been repented for. The repair should have already been done. So it takes that storm, it takes that act of God when the winds come and they descend and they beat on the things that are broken and should have been cut off a long time ago. But we waited. We waited for the natural disaster. We waited for the act of God. It takes an act of God sometimes to bring change. It takes an act of God sometimes for that healing to come. Sometimes for the deliverance on addiction and brokenness and hurt and pain and anger and anguish. Sometimes we need an act of God. You see these horrible things where pictures of literally the very foundation comes up with the storm. The very foundation is lifted up out of the ground. That's what we need sometimes, for the very foundation to be lifted up so we can build our house on the rock. Let's just be drawn to a point of repentance for staying in grief too long, for staying in anger too long, for staying in unforgiveness too long. So the storm doesn't have to come. But if the storm comes, be patient and wait for it, because it is an act of God, and that's when healing comes. That's when deliverance comes. That's when the change comes. Get ready, because the act of God is coming, and when it comes, the winds are going to beat. They're going to destroy all the decay and all the rust and all the moss and all the locust that has eaten away at those dead branches. Sometimes we just need a clean cut. Sometimes that limb that's not growing any fruit, not bearing any fruit, just needs to be cut off. Don't wait for the act of God. But when the storms finally come, because you have waited, be prepared for what's coming, the next. You have to send in a cleaning crew to clean up all the debris. Let the angels of the Lord do what they do best, and to clean and to pull down and to tear down and to uproot. God bless and good day, because that act of God is surely coming to clear, to cleanse, and to remove. God bless. Love you guys. If you like this video, follow me for more. Like it. Leave me a comment. Let's interact. God bless. Good day.